Hello, beautiful. Happy New Year, and welcome back to another episode of Beautiful I Am Colored. My name is Evelyn, and I am the creator of this podcast as well as the book titled Beautiful I Am Colored, which is still available on my website at beautifuliamcolored.com. I am so happy to be back for another episode in the new year. Recall that my last recording in 2023, I informed you that I would be taking hiatus, which I do every year in order to prepare for the new year. So it is a pleasure to be back. I indeed missed you, which sounds kind of odd to say given the fact that you listen to me at different times and we don't necessarily interact in a traditional way. Nonetheless, I do love this podcast and I love my listening audience. And so I always come with gratitude each week. And with that said, let's go ahead and cascade into shout outs and thank yous for this very first episode of 2024. If you're new here and you're just stopping by, shout outs and thank yous is a segment of my podcast, typically at the beginning, more times than not, where I shout out a person, place, thing, or idea that has blessed me and been beneficial to me over the course of my time between the time of my last recording and the current recording. And so today I want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone on Facebook who posted on my page to wish me a happy birthday. I am so grateful to see another year of life. And while I never share my real birthday on social media, I just don't do that. This is my birthday month. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much for thinking of me. Even if you just did a little copy paste, the automated thing that helps you recognize people on Facebook. I don't take those things lightly because the truth of the matter is that you don't have to do it. And so thank you so much for that. The next shout out and thank you goes to this podcast. So I did some tallying up and then just cleaning up a few things in terms from a business and organizational standpoint. I was curious about the number of episodes. Now, one would think, because I'm kind of anal about details and stuff, one would think that I have been meticulous about cataloging every episode and things like that since I started. Well, in fact, I have not, because my whole purpose of this podcast was not to necessarily get on virtually and share with you in hopes of gaining anything other than hope and healing. That is my objective of this podcast. And so I really wasn't, I really wasn't focused on doing that at a deep level. However, I do realize the importance of that. And as a result, I was like, okay, 2024 is here. Let me just see how many shows I've done since its inception. And thankfully, we do have the algorithmic AI to help us with these different platforms. And so I am so grateful for 53 to 54 episodes of Beautiful I Am Colored. I say that because depending on which platform you listen to me on, the trailer counts as one of the episodes. But we started, and I say we because you're the listener on this journey with me, we started February 8th of 2022. So can you believe that February 8th, 2024, in just a few short weeks, we will be starting our third year of podcasting? Can you believe it? I'm like, what? Yeah, so super excited to get year 3 started next month. And super excited to continue this journey of just sharing with you each and every week. So those are the two things that I'm thankful for this week. Now, I will say that I think I closed out last episode just sharing with you how I prepare for the new year. And my plans all went to, I don't know where they went, but they just didn't happen, okay? This was a very unique crossing over into 2024 for me. I had a very challenging time, connecting with my source, and by source I mean God, and also experienced an unexpected death in the family, which always can create and resurrect some things that perhaps you thought you were over and had dealt with, but indeed you have not. And so, or I have not. Let me make that personal. And so it's been a really big challenge and a really big push to get back to what I love, and not just to get back, but to even return with a renewed sense of strength, hope, love, so that I ensure that I translate my message in the right way that it needs to be translated. But I just wanted to be transparent and share with you that it was a very difficult crossing over to 2024 for me, for some other reasons as well that I won't get into today. But I wanted to acknowledge that, and that, and even if it was just to teach me that, it's not easy for people. And so even though Christmas time and things like that are typically my most joyous times of the year for various different reasons, some people really do struggle. And so maybe I had to go through having a struggling time in order to just bring me back to center and recognize that other people don't share the same sentiment as I. And so with that, I want to cascade right into today's topic, which is titled The Land of Make-Believe. I want to share something with you that when I was preparing, this topic dropped to me a couple weeks ago. And I want to just read a little short excerpt to you. As you know, I love reading aloud. And so I pulled this off of MrRogers.org. And it's the article titled The Neighborhood of Make-Believe. The neighborhood of Make-Believe is a puppet kingdom ruled by King Friday the 13th. It's a fantasy area where children can see puppet characters and friendly humans grow and learn as they help each other with their problems and concerns. This make-believe neighborhood is a place that's clearly and intentionally separate from Mr. Rogers' quote, real neighborhood. That separation serves two purposes. On one hand, that was Fred Rogers' way of helping young children who are typically just beginning to understand what's real and what's just make-believe. On the other hand, it wanted to show children that it can help to use their imagination to play and pretend about situations and feelings in their own lives. Now, you might be saying, girl, what you mean land of make-believe? Well, let me tell you, honey, what I'm talking about. I have surfaced this topic before on my platform, and it is the concern that I have about this mesh between the virtual reality realm, which let's just call it social media, and real life, like the physical life, and how these two are continuously intersecting and intertwining with one another, and it's causing a great deal of confusion and frustration, particularly for anyone who is younger than a Generation Xer, which is the generation that I am from or with. And the concern is here because you can project anything and make anything look the way you want it to look on these different platforms, social media. And the people who come across these images or videos they don't know any other portion of you, of course, unless they're connected to you in what Mr. Rogers call it right, real, in the real life. There is no way for them to disassociate who you are or who you project yourself to be in the social media arena and who you are in real life. Why is this important? This is important because it very much blurs the line of authenticity and character. And to be fully transparent with you, it also blurs the line of reality to the degree that we have some people in, let's call it real life, your day in, day out life, trying to be something that was created to stay and remain in the land of make-believe. And we are in an era right now, while there is an extremely increased dose of truth-telling that is rampant right now. And will continue to be so for the entire year, for sure. There is also this, confused sense of self for a lot of people. And it's causing a lot of people to indeed struggle in various ways, whether it's, looking on social media and comparing yourself to someone's house or someone's car or someone's makeup, someone's wardrobe, someone's ability to communicate. And I wanted to just caution as we begin this year, as we are in the first month of this year, to just take some time and make sure that you control your engagement in the land of make-believe and not let the land of make-believe control you. What do I mean by that? Well, I have tried to model this, and I'm not by far an expert, but I have tried to model this, and that is to be intentional about taking time away from social media, not posting every day. And I understand the algorithms, and I've mentioned this to you before. I understand the algorithms. I understand that you need to, continuously post to get traction and to increase numbers. And if that is your thing, and social media is your thing to build wealth, then hey, more power to you. But I would just say, as a friend, and as a person who is very grounded in principles, it's important to make sure that you stay in the driver's seat, so test yourself every now and then, maybe remove the app from your phone if you have a tendency to go to it periodically multiple times a day, because that might be a sign, and I'm not judging, I'm just saying for conversation, it might be a sign that the land of make-believe is controlling you more than you're controlling it. And so please be very careful, that especially because we are entering into a major presidential election year. And so the land of make-believe will grow at an expedited fashion this year, more so than it ever has been. And so I just want to caution you to make sure that you test out the different things that you hear, test out the different things that you see, because everything that you see in the land of make-believe is indeed not real, not reality. That's the first message for this year. I don't know why it was important for me to drop that, but it is important nonetheless. I am going to continue to take hiatuses when I feel the need to ensure that I remain grounded. I will encourage you to do the same. Please, no, I will not be offended if you have to take a break from my podcast or anything, because I understand the importance of unplugging and really grounding yourself and centering. With that said, I want to just tell you again, I'm so grateful and humbled to be back again this year, 2024. Look forward to starting up year 3, season 5. And so this is so exciting for me. And a heads up to you. You remember several episodes back, I was like, I think I want to switch things up, maybe try some new music. Well, guess what? I think I found some new music, theme music for this year, and so we'll see how it meshes. But I definitely like to have elements of starting fresh in the new year. Okay, that is all I have to give for today. But I want to wish everyone an amazing week. Please take care of yourself, whatever that means for you. Please surround yourself by people who believe in you, who believe in your dreams, visions, and goals, aspirations for yourself. It is so, so incredibly important, especially in this year, in the season that we're in. And as always, I want you to remember that the future you was, still, and always will be waiting on you. Until next time, beautiful, have a great week, everyone.